Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, everyone. Alright, uh, today I will explain about problem and activities in listening skills in EFL classroom. So before we start, let me introduce myself. My name is Wahyuni, and I'm studying in Maritim Raja Ali Haji University, and I'm from Natuna. Now let me start. The first is, when listening skill has been the issue, there are certainly some difficult in listening. The first is that people cannot communicate face to face unless the two types of skill, listening or speaking, listening or speaking are developed in tandem. Rehearsed production is useless if the interlocutors are unable to respond to the reply generated from our interlocutor. The second problem is that under many circumstances, listening is a reciprocal skill. People cannot practice listening in the same way as they can rehearse speaking, or at least the part of speaking that has to do with pronunciation, because the listening cannot predicate the communication. Another problem connect with the second one is comprehension of what they are listening to, as English has become a worldwide language and there are millions of people learning and speaking. Now, the first is how to teach listening. For language teachers, the main problem is either not to know what to do with the listening skills or absolute obedience to the course book they have selected. If they cannot adopt, edit or change listening activities for their learner, the listening skills become the main anxiety source for them, and instead of supporting the learners with a kind of comprehensible input, it may become the reason for learners' discouragement. The solution of making listening skills digestible for learners is in two ways: at word level and sentence level. At word level, in the early stage, the student need practice hearing and saying the sound of isolated words as they are easily pronounced a native speaker, without the distortion or blurs which commonly occur within the context of natural speech. The exercise types, thus early level pupils can be given a repetition which they are only expect to repeat what they hear, asking if what they hear is English or not, and to decide if they hear the same or different utterances. We know in listening can be many steps to hear something, like when we explain to learner using our voice, using audio, using something can to learner hear. At sentence level, recognizing colloquial and spontaneous speech become easier for learners. So the exercise types at this level are again repetition, but this time the length of the utterances is either the phrase or sentence they have. Here, identify word division which they are determine the spoken and the written forms of the utterances. Identifying the stressed or unstressed words are in a sentence, and dictation which the teacher seeks for students. Understanding the sound and utterances. The third type is meaning-based activities. Here, divides the comprehension exercise into different purpose-based activities in listening comprehension. These are the first is listening and making no response. This exercise may also be called no response exercise, and they are used to enrich the learner's listening comprehension skills as much as possible. The exercise steps in this group may be 1. Following a written text, where students both read and listening to the text to see how words are pronounced or have to change to see the actual listening and hearing a native speaker. 2. Pictures. The learner listen to the teacher or recording and choose the picture or order the picture as they are mentioned. And the last is diagrams, maps. The same technique may be used in using diagrams and maps or family trees. And the last, the stories, film, and TV programs. They may be used as no-response activities if they are not too long to make the student feel bored or lost concentration. Next is listening and making short response. The exercises are a flight using the short response of learners whose levels are elementary or not enough for full communication. The exercise which can be performed during the listening course may be true or false exercise. The exercise helps the learners to make the connection between speaking and listening skills and link the two skills by both listening and responding. Next is listening and making long response. In this type of exercise, learners are expected to relate to the general sense of a whole sequence of utterances. Prediction. Students are asked to guess the meaning or to guess what is going to happen next. Filling gap. This exercise may be done by filling the gaps in a dialogue or text during listening activity. Summarizing. Learners are asked to summarize what they have understood from the listening. And next, listening a basis for study and discussion. The first exercise type in this activity is problem solving, where the students discuss the listening activity individually or in groups. The text is short and students are given the chance to listen to or more times to able to discuss the problem mentioned in the listening text. The second one is jigsaw listening, in which the students are given half parts of the whole listening. After listening, they join together and come to a conclusion or catch the general idea of the activity. In this listening activity, the learners need more than one tape recorder and cassettes, or another solution may be taking the students into the listening activity group by group. After one group listen and the other comes in a while they are listening, the first group is outside the class. The third one is commonly used exercise type involving complementary text, where the student completes some information on a chart or in a dialogue. The last one is interpretative listening, in which the student try to make some interpretation about the speaker's personalities, their relationship. Alright, there are some technique or some steps to teach listening skills and speaking skills. In conclusion, all of these listening tasks are given here to suggest to both learners and the teacher some alternative technique which may enhance the current curriculum. It is important here to apply these tasks at the appropriate level with the appropriate students. The instructor has also an important role in planning and knowing the tasks because the wrong type of exercise may discourage the learners. EFL classroom need more practice than theory. As stated by question, only comprehensible input is necessary and makes sense if purpose of language education is to make learner acquire the kind of language that they need to express themselves. So, by improving the comprehensible syllabus for students, education can serve the purpose. Alright, I think that's all from me. Thank you so much for your attention. See you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.